All right, the mailman dropped me off a shiny new bearing, so we can get this installed. It's another wet morning here in southwest Wisconsin, and I'm in the barn. I actually lit the pellet stove here this morning for the first time this fall to get a little bit of the dampness out of the area, and mainly to make sure it still works before it really gets cold around here. So the mailman brought me my new seal here for the input shaft on the transmission on the C. So I think we'll probably start putting the C together today. Okay, I've got the new bearing installed on the countershaft down here. I've got the new oil seal there on the input shaft, and I've got a couple of made myself a couple of guides here out of 5/8 threaded rod to guide it through. So all I have to do now, bring this shaft out here, attach the drive shaft to the coupler there, and hopefully slide everything back together. We'll see if that works. Okay, we've gone from 2 big pieces and a bunch of little ones back to 1 big piece and a bunch of little ones. So that seems like progress. It really wasn't too bad sliding it back together. I had the transmission in neutral here. I got it close, and I just had to wiggle the shaft a little bit to get the splines lined up with it going into the clutch. And I know it's slid into the splines on the clutch properly because it won't turn now in neutral, but when I push down the clutch pedal, it turns just like it should. So the clutch seems to be engaging and disengaging just like it should. So good deal. We'll get ready to put the top back on the transmission and differential. I've got the top back in place, all the gears. I seem to have the shift forks lined up. Again, with this, I used some 3/8 threaded rod to make some guides. I had to get it down kind of within a couple of inches before I could put the guides in, because the way these are, the shift fork for reverse, you have to kind of get in and around the side in there. But everything is in neutral, and of course I've got this wheel jacked up so I could check everything. So pretty good. I can take my chain off. I use the shop hoist to put the top in place. It's not super duper heavy, but it's a lot easier to use the hoist. So now we can bolt this back on. Okay, the C is starting to look a little bit like a tractor again. I've got the battery box on. I've got all the steering wheel support and all the controls there on it. The stand turned out pretty good where I repaired it. I just put the first coat of paint around where the seat is to kind of touch that up, where the paint got discolored, where I had to heat those broken bolts to get them out. I couldn't do that yesterday because it was so humid yesterday. There was so much condensation. The water was literally just running off all the cast iron pieces on this tractor. So it's better this morning. I'll let this dry a bit, then give it another coat or maybe 2, and hopefully it will look presentable.